back with another video about BattleTech Advanced 3062, and today we're going to cover the tabs in the Mechbay, so where you can find everything in the Mechbay, all these fine buttons right here. Because there's a lot of them and people have been confused, so I want to clarify for folks. So, the weapon tabs are very self-explanatory. You can actually mouse over the tabs and it'll tell you what it is. So this is the Autocannon tab. It contains autocannons and autocannon adjacent weapons like the cannons and rifles, the LBXs, the UX, so on and so forth. The second tab is Gauss rifles, which contains anything that is a Gauss rifle. So Gauss rifles, light Gauss, heavy Gauss, so on and so forth. This tab is artillery. Artillery is the first, what I call a multi-category tab, where it contains both ballistic and missile weapons, and even a support weapon fits in here. So the Thumper fits here, and so does the Arrow 4, because they're both artillery-class weapons. They do go on different hardpoints, so the Arrow 4, despite being artillery, well, yeah, does go on the missile hardpoint, so it is a missile weapon. Whereas the Thumper, which I can't actually place because it takes too many spaces, fits here on the ballistic hardpoint. In fact, let me see if I can demonstrate. I don't know if I have enough crits for this. Yeah, see, this fits on the ballistic hardpoint. So even though this is a single tab, they fit on different hardpoints, and that's intentional. This tab, nope. This tab is the laser weapons. All lasers all the time. That's the only thing that fits on this tab. It says energy weapons, but it's really lasers. This is the PPC and plasma tab. So you got your PPCs, your ER peeps, your standard peeps, and your plasma rifle and plasma cannon. This is the first of the missile tabs. This is SRAM, MML, and NARC weapons. This also holds the rockets. This is kind of the small tube count tab, and then rockets fit here because rockets and SRAMs are very similar. Then you have the LRM, MRM, and Thunderbolt tab. This is kind of the longer range, high tube count. But, you know, again, you got Thunderbolts, which are long-range indirect fire weapons, kind of like LRMs. This is a catch-all tab. This is the support weapon tab. This contains anything that really goes on the support hardpoint and isn't covered elsewhere. So you got your flamers, your coil, your small laser, tag, machine guns, so on and so forth. This is the small lasers, so on. This is the AMS tab. It holds AMS and laser AMS, and that's all it holds. And then the last one is battle armor. Battle armor is again a multi hardpoint tab, but this is all battle armor weapons. These don't go on normal mechs. These go only on battle armor. And they do require hardpoints, so most of the weapons here are on the support hardpoint, but there are the PPCs that go on the energy hardpoint. But if you try to put one on, it says requires proto mech because it requires battle armor. Ammo. The ammo is, again, very self-explanatory, you know, autocannon, Gauss, artillery, short-range missiles, long-range missiles, plasma and chemical laser, support ammo, mostly machine gun, and then AMS. And then you get into the internals and the equipment tabs. So internals are kind of mech fundamentals. The internal tab contains things that are fundamental to the operation of a mech. So you got your engine cores, without which your mech doesn't go. You have your engine shielding, like XL engine, or Clan XL, or Light engine, or XXL, that give you weight, but take crits, you know, so on and so forth. Then you have your heatsink kits, which go up here, and change the internal heatsinking of your design. You then have your e-cooling, which I don't have an example in here, but there's one here. E-coolings give you extra heatsinks if your engine is big enough to have an e-cooling. E-coolings are extra internal heatsinks that live inside the engine, and you don't have to put out in the actual crit space, but only engines of a certain size can take them. So, for instance, you'll see here where it says -3 heat HS ton and +1 HS cap. That is telling you if you can have an e-cooling or not. So a Core 275 can have a +1 heat cap, heatsink cap, which means it can fit an e-cooling +1. Whereas the Core 220 is too small and requires 2 external heatsinks because it can't fit all 10 required into the engine. This will be covered in more detail in a future video. Then you have the actual heatsinks themselves. Heatsink, double heatsink, mini, improved heat bank. This tab contains heatsinks and heat control equipment like heat banks, heat exchangers, you know, heatsinks, so on and so forth. Then you have the armor tab, which contains the yellow armors. Most armor types that fit up here on the actual armor button are this yellow color. So if you see this yellow color and this little shield, this is an armor, and it will go up and replace up there. I am going to keep my heavy ferro though. Armors all have different, some armors take space in the mech, but they all do different things. Like heavy ferro gives you a lot of weight back for your armor, but it takes up a lot of space. The armor tab also contains armor items like the modular armors and protective gear like case. This is the Gyro tab, which contains objects that go on the gyro. I don't have any on the save, sorry. But this is where your gyros live. Then you have your lower leg actuators and your arm actuators. So this is your leg actuators. This is actuators that fit on the legs and do various things, mostly for melee. And then you have arm actuators that fit on the arms and, again, do various things. So if you have like a special hand actuator, it'll be on this tab. You can put it on mechs with hands. Then you have the equipment tab. This is kind of... these are all mech fundamentals that just make mechs work. This is kind of the more fun special gear. So you've got your jump jets, which I don't have any listed because I don't have any heavy jump jets. This is an Orion and requires heavy jump jets. This tab is your cockpit items. So things like the command console go here. Your fire control systems and your TTS systems all go on this tab. So if I wanted to put Artemis on this mech, I could do it like that. If I took off the command console, it would go here as well. This is your electronic equipment tab. So this contains things like ECM, your active probes, your C3 slaves, your C3 gear. Your C3 gear goes on this tab. This is the movement upgrades tab. So you've got your mask, your supercharger, I think TSM goes here as well. Things that make your mech move faster. And maybe do other things, but mostly move faster. Then again, you have legs again, you have arms again. This is the support unit systems tab. So in BTA we recently introduced the ability to put on an upgrade on your mech that you can then use in mission to call down like a strafing run like this comm suite, or you could summon an AI controlled like helper unit to come fight for you. Like you could call on a battle mech or a suit of battle armor or a tank or a turret. Those systems are on this tab. So if you have those, you can just go to this little icon and they'll be here. And then this final little double square icon is the miscellaneous upgrades. This covers anything that is not covered somewhere else. So, your PPC capacitor doesn't really fit anywhere else, so it goes here. Hargel, the zoom arrays, cases here again. Anything really miscellaneous and doesn't fit anywhere else is on this button. This is the catch-all category, so if you can't find it anywhere else, it's probably here. And that is all that is all the item tabs. And that is all for this video. So that's going to cover it. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them. So there you go. Hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.